Hi, my name's Phil. I'd like to talk about politics. And a few weeks ago, I was talking about the revealed government strategy on getting people ready for the hard Brexit that Boris Johnson and his Conservative MPs are subjecting us to at the end of the year. And now it seems that a portion of it that deals with coming clean about the dangers of Brexit has begun. But first, if you'd like to be notified of daily news and politics, please subscribe to the channel and click the bell notification icon. So, gone are the days when Brexit was going to be just sunlit uplands. All of the benefits of the old system, remember that, with a load of new ones, albeit ill-defined ones, thrown in. And that suited them for winning the referendum and also for powering to an 80-seat majority last December as well. It also helped them get over the line to their damaging no-deal Brexit at the end of last month, because up until then, remember, it was all about, we're going to get a deal, we're going to get a deal. Boris Johnson promised us a deal, not by the end of this year, but by the end of July, the end of this month. Here we are, like less than 2 weeks away from the end of this month. It's all gone a bit quiet on that front. It was all about not having people kick up a fuss when it was still easy to get an extension. Whereas now, we've gone past the legal deadline for seeking an extension, so the law would have to be changed, which obviously Boris Johnson is not going to do. Now, for such a mass deception, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, really, because having millions of people in the UK believe that Brexit can only be good for the country was useful. But now it's harmful, because in their own words, the problem is that a good proportion of the population, quite a large proportion, think that Brexit is so great that they don't need to do anything to prepare for it. And why wouldn't they think that? Because Johnson and his co-conspirators kept telling them that. Unfortunately, it's not actually the case. And it's all very well the government telling businesses to take advantage of the opportunities as a way of avoiding blame later when they fall flat on their arse. Well, you didn't take advantage of the opportunities. If you didn't do that, then that's your lookout. But if lots and lots of businesses fail, if all these Brexit supporters who propelled this constitutional nightmare into being fail to prepare, then we all go down the toilet. So the government has updated its website with lots of advice for people to check it out. It tells you about all the countries you're now going to find it more time-consuming, difficult and expensive to travel to. So if you're used to foreign travel to Europe, then there may be a number of things you've just taken for granted and won't be aware that it's no longer there for you, such as health insurance, for example. If you suffer injury or illness whilst overseas, you're a bit knackered if you haven't bought yourself some suitable private health insurance for next year. And there's a survey on the government website, which I had to go through a few different scenarios. It takes you through a series of questions. And then at the end, based on your responses, provides a helpful series of links which tells you all the different ways in which your business is basically knackered from January. And you don't necessarily have to be a business owner. As I say, if you travel, even on holiday, then there's going to be things that affect you as well. Now, as I say, I filled it in with, I imagined a number of different scenarios, filled it in. And the one thing that is striking, albeit not unexpected. So at the end, depending on your responses, it gives you links to all the things that you're going to need to be aware of, which is very helpful. It's the most helpful thing the government has actually done. But when you read through them all, every single one of these links leads you to information that is warning you, as a result of Brexit, of extra expenses, extra work, extra time and extra hassle just to get your normal activities done. None of the documents tell you about anything that's going to be better. None of them say, now you're going to have this extra benefit. No. It's all, you need to be aware of this. This is serious. Not a single benefit in them. And the government, of course, know this too. They are genuinely concerned that too few businesses will even go through that survey to get themselves ready. I mean, it's not even like those who do will always be able to prepare. I mean, forewarned is forearmed, certainly, but for many businesses, they'll find that they've been armed with a pea shooter for a Western-style shootout. So the PR company that the government have hired to get the population ready needs the government to start coming clean about the realities of Brexit. No more unicorns. They don't exist. And this is what they've been doing because they now need people to face up to the Brexit realities. On the quiet, of course, they don't want to make too much of a song and dance about it, but they do need people to know. And there's the problem. And there is another problem as well. And it's a big one. And that is coronavirus. Yes, the government are also using it as useful cover for wasting billions of our taxes in the name of emergency spending. But it's also a problem for them. And not just in terms of the economic damage that it's going to be causing, which of course can't be understated, much more serious than Brexit from that point of view. But with the economic damage of COVID being even worse than Treasury forecasts, which of course will then cast doubt on their spending plans, because their spending plans were based on their forecasts. And their forecasts are downplaying the economic damage of COVID at the moment. So, something could turn around at the end of the year. Who knows? But because the pandemic is the focus of most people's minds, whether it be because of the healthcare risks, whether it be because of fears for their jobs, or just, their own business, it's actually hard to get the Brexit message across, especially when the government don't really want to emphasise the shit show aspect of it. And therein lies their dilemma. They can't just bang on about all the bad things about Brexit without the balance of all the benefits in that message. I mean, they'd sort of be comfortable, I think, saying, there's all these things you need to be aware of, but there's these benefits as well that offset it. The problem is that there are no benefits that they can talk about. They're just vague. They talk about opportunities, but they can't give any examples. Which is why even their website, with its massive number of Brexit-related update documents, doesn't mention a single benefit. Only drawbacks. It's full of drawbacks. I challenge you to find a single one of these Get Ready for Brexit documents that points out a tangible benefit. So they attempted a more muted warning about Brexit, with the idea being just to get those who need to know to go onto the website. So the emphasis is very much go onto the website, check out the thing. For most people, when they click the answers to these things, at the end of it, it will come up with limited drawbacks, just about the holidays for most people. But the problem is that a muted message like that is going to be swallowed up in the face of coronavirus. And the media aren't going to be of very much help to them either, split as it is two ways. So one, you've got the sections of the media that are not at all impressed with Brexit, including some right-wing media like the Times, the Financial Times, for example. Now, they will warn of the dangers of Brexit, but they will point the finger squarely at Boris Johnson for those dangers. Can't imagine him retweeting those stories. Then, secondly, you've got the sections of the media which do want Brexit. They are also hardly likely to play ball by warning about the dangers of the very policy they are backing. They'd much rather make up stories about surgeons fainting across prone patients during hours-long surgery because they were wearing face masks, and how making the rest of us wear a face mask is somehow a blow against freedom, yet removing our actual freedom of movement around Europe is somehow empowering us. You figure that out. I've given up. But whatever the situation, the media aren't of much help to Johnson right now when it comes to this message. So the problems for the government, and the rest of us really, are as follows. One, many businesses, even if they kept themselves fully informed of Brexit realities, will simply not be able to adapt. Most businesses in the UK are small affairs with few, if any, employees, not large enough to change overnight and magic up a new market. Most of these businesses will just go to the wall, nothing that can be done about that. Secondly, there will be some businesses that may be able to survive, albeit with tougher trading conditions, if they are at least fully informed of not only Brexit procedures, but also where they are in the supply chain, so they can be aware of dependent businesses, that, what the impact's going to be on them. Now, too few businesses simply do not understand how vital EU trade is to them because of this lack of awareness of where they are in the supply chain. Now, if the message can make its way to these businesses, then there is some hope that they can at least survive, and that lessens the economic damage. But they've been told for the past few years that Brexit is wonderful, and that there will be no downsides. Third problem, getting that message out there is not easy because businesses, like the rest of us, are mostly focusing on coping with coronavirus, because that is the real and present danger. That is this overwhelming danger to their business right now. Brexit's over there somewhere. Still half a year away. And also, where most people don't think there's anything to worry about either. After all, the government are taking care of it, aren't they? And 4, if the message doesn't get out there in time, more businesses will fail than might otherwise have done so, on top of what was already going to be economic damage from Brexit and the economic tsunami of coronavirus. This would knacker Britain for a very, very long time to come. So I'll leave you with that cheery thought for now, but sure, I will update you whenever the government try amplifying that message or move into the next phase of their plan over the coming weeks and months. Until then, I hope you found the video interesting. If you did, don't forget to click the like button. And if you'd like to support the channel further, please also click the Patreon link for details. And until next time, I'll see you later.